Hello, Carl.
Hello.
Why don't you just start by telling us a bit about yourself and what you hope this documentary will achieve?
My name's Carl Sanderson, I'm 39-year-old. I've had haemophilia all my life. Base levels are 5%, which puts us in the mild category, but in mild moderate. There is different categories of haemophilia. Hopefully the documentary we're going to do and show that haemophilias this day and age can live a normal life due to the treatments coming on so far over the years. But yet there's an image of haemophilia and a stigma about it that if I cut myself will bleed to death, and I want to help get rid of that.
According to the NHS website, haemophilia is an inherited condition that affects the blood's ability to clot. Normally, when you cut yourself, substances in the blood known as clotting factors combine with blood cells called platelets to make the blood sticky. This makes the bleeding stop eventually. However, in haemophilia, there are not as many clotting factors as there should be in the blood. This means someone with the condition will bleed for longer than usual. The condition is passed to a child by one or both of their parents. Hello, my name is Liam Belcher from Team Alpha Productions. Joining me on this documentary is Adam Jenkins, who will mostly be doing the camera work and editing. This will be a documentary about haemophilia, and how we hope to help Carl Sanderson on his quest to rid the world of the stigma still attached to the condition. Carl Sanderson was born with haemophilia A, but, unlike a lot of children growing up with a blood clot disorder, he wasn't wrapped in cotton. This was mostly to do with his wonderful mother, who was already educated due to her family history, meaning that when it came to Carl, she knew about the treatments and limitations. Carl will try to highlight the opportunities that self-treatment can give people with the disorder, and attempt to dispel the very medieval views that some medical professionals still have. The highlight of this documentary will feature Carl doing an endurance event called Tough Mudder twice in one weekend. This will both be to raise awareness and money, but also to prove a point that living with haemophilia can mean living with haemophilia. Do you want to run us through what's going on, Carl?
Thanks. Welcome to Saturday morning training.
Take them to a level that they might have never been before. We gon' hit the flow and then take them to a level that they might have never been before. We gon' hit the flow and then take them to a level that they might have never been before. We gon' hit the flow and then take them to a level that they might have never been before. We gon' hit the flow and then take them to a level that they might have never been before. We gon' hit the flow and then take them to a level that they might have never been before. We gon' hit the flow and then take them to a level that they might have never been before. We gon' hit the flow and then hit the flow, hit the flow, hit the flow.
Over, under. Over, under. Come on, Jack.
And I put them in a trance till I get them out them pants. And I put them in a trance till I get them out them pants. And I take them to a level that they might have never been before. We gon' hit the flow and then take them to a level that they might have never been before. We gon' hit the flow.
I did it on the one before the goalpost, so.
Oh, you did it twice. Push it.
How was it?
Oh, I did that first time I backrolled.
How was it then?
No. So the best part was the dirty pool. I was going to drink it. I was thirsty.
Cool you down?
Hello. It's amazing. Right, don't bounce, mind!
That was what Carl and his friends classify as a relatively easy warm-up. That was compared to their circuit training, which is condition-based for Tough Mudder.
Do a 15-minute warm-up, which you've just seen.
Yeah.
Now what we do is split the gym into two sections. One's strength, one's conditioning and cardio. Plank is the easy elbows.
How's that one there, yeah?
Yep. On this one here we're doing 4 knees and sprawls. the med ball. It's basically lifting your med ball above your head, going down to the third line.
Yep.
Jumping back up. Punch bag over there is your ground and pound. 4 hurdles. Basically hurdle all year long. These ones are bastardos.
Yeah.
These are shoulder shrugs.
Yep.
Clean and press that when it's quarter full of water, so it knocks the balance off here. Back the ropes. This is the clean and press one.
Clean and press
for that one.
We did some training tonight with Carl Sanderson and all the rest of the lads. Christ, I had respect for them before. Now I've got like beyond respect. You see shows like Band of Brothers and you think, oh, how do you form that sort of bond? And obviously that's combat, that's different, but you can understand how close they are through that sort of thing, because I was dead after one circuit at the end. I had to sit down, I was dizzy, I was just about to pass out. So much respect for you guys. And it gives me more perspective on making this documentary and how hard it truly must be.
In your life you've had a few different professions as well, haven't you, that people would consider high risk. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
I was a doorman for 11 years,
okay.
Which is quite high risk. I'm still in the security industry now as a security officer, and I've never haemophilia's never been a problem in them areas. I've hurt myself and had bleeds throughout my life doing lesser things.
Why do you believe that there's such a stigma attached to haemophilia?
It's still a very rare and not known about blood disorder. For all there is thousands of us in the country and around worldwide, it's still not a very publicised bleeding disorder, so not many people know about it.
A lot of people who have that condition have led full and adventurous lives, like you were telling me about the guy who did downhill biking.
Yeah.
But due to treatment improving over time, you can still do that sort of thing. Do you feel that these people need more recognition to help the world realise that haemophilia doesn't mean that you can't lead a life full of adventure?
I do, yes. I think there should be more people out there, like a lot of haemophilia's coming forward now who have lived normal lives, that do active sports, and to actually come out and put it out there. Social media now is really good to get your voice heard. So hopefully a lot more of them will see this and come out to promote it and get on with helping new families and young haemophilias that aren't going to look and live in bubbles.
What has been your biggest challenge involved with having haemophilia?
Other people's images of it. Growing up, bullied quite a lot because people weren't allowed to play with us, or getting called a hypochondriac because I couldn't do certain activities at school. So you were treated different.
Okay. You recently posted a video that's gone quite viral around the internet, on social media sites, about you doing your treatment after you had an injury training. Do you want to tell us about that and how it's gone viral?
I put that up for a lot of my friends and that who say have known us for years and know us as a haemophilia, and all they hear is if I say I've got to go and treat myself, a lot of them still don't understand the aspects of me treat myself. So I hurt myself training. I went home and decided to video myself actually giving myself an injection and put it on Facebook.
Self-treatment is possible. Here, Carl demonstrates the process that he goes through. Hello there, I'm Liam Belcher, and joining me is Carl Sanderson.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, today we're going to go through not only the equipment you use for your self-treatment, but you're going to do a demonstration obviously of how you self-treat as well, yes?
Yep.
Okay, do you want to take us through the equipment you've got and what each thing is used for?
Yeah, that's no problem. This is my little box I travel around with, whether it's going to work, sporting activities, anything like that. It's everything I need in case I've got to treat for a bleed. I have sanitising gel for my hands. We have a tourniquet in here, the butterfly needles, the treatment itself, the product, pre-mixed, before it's mixed. Syringe with the Saline Solution, which is the right measurement for one vial, one syringe, one vial. We have alcoholic wipes, gauzes and plasters, basically everything in here that I need to treat myself if a bleed occurs. And the box there is for all the products that I use, like the needles, anything with blood on, goes into the box, gets sealed when the box is full and gets sent away for incineration.
Now Carl's going to take us through a step-by-step procedure of how he treats.
Right, as well with anything, I'll make sure everything's all clean. Yeah, the hands get cleaned with an antibacterial. Everything on the board here is everything I need for one treatment. The alcoholic wipes here, which I'll use to wipe down the little plastic lid, which I carry around with us, which is basically just to make sure there's no nasties on there, because that's where the syringe and the needle for pre-injection will be going on. Everything that I put on here with the minimum amount of touching by my hand, even though they are clean, you try not to touch it as much as possible.
Is that just to reduce the chances of infection?
It is, yeah. It's basically anything you try not to, anything that's going to come in contact with the inside of my vein needs to be cleaned. This is the treatment, my treatment pre. So what we'll do is we'll click that off here. Yet again, alcoholic wipes again, anything that's, give it a wipe down. This is our cap that goes on top of it. As you see, my hands very rarely touch anything that's going to go in contact with the needle. That'll clip onto there.
Okay.
The Saline Solution, it's just another snap off lid again. Give that a wipe. As I say, it's been in the box, so it's all clean. Turns it onto there. It's basically jet the solution into there. Give it a quick shake. The solution should turn clear. If it's not clear, we don't use it.
Any reason why?
It could be that I haven't noticed that I may be out of date or anything like that, but if it hasn't gone clear or there's bits floating in it, I'll not use it. It's got to be injected every vein, so I don't want bits floating around in it. We have gauze here if you want to take the needle out. And another alcoholic wipe for wiping my arm down before the needle goes in.
So on any given time, this will take you only a matter of minutes, really, won't it?
From taking it out the fridge to actually self-injecting it will take 15-20 minutes. Before I went on home therapy and the advanced treatment is now, as a child I would be sitting in hospital with a big bag of what they call cryoprecipitate on a drip for 45 minutes. Yeah, I'd say the training I got from the hospital was brilliant off the nurses. It is a bit daunting sticking a needle in yourself, especially trying to hit a vein, but the training you get and the explanations behind the training is really good. They don't just give you the product and go, there you go. You do actually get, I was in the hospital for 2 days with the nurses from the Haemophilia Centre, getting trained up on how to stick myself. So from here, turn that upside down. In these vials will be about 5 ml now of pre-mixed treatment.
Okay.
And again, anything that's going to come in contact with anything. This is the syringe getting attached to the butterfly needle. Now what I will explain is, at the moment there's air in the tube. Now the last thing I want in my bloodstream is big air bubbles. So what we'll do now is we purge the needle full of treatment until there's a little bubble of treatment comes out the end, then I know I've got no air bubbles at all going into us. So it's going to be a little squeeze of the syringe. It's not like it is in telly where you see a big massive squirt come out. it's now purged. There's treatment at the end there. So that is my factor ready to go in. So basically it's now ready for the infusion part of it.
Okay.
The tourniquet goes on a couple of inches above. I'll go for my vein here. I find it the easiest one to hit for myself. You will see a bit of scar tissue on there. Over the years of self-treating and being treated in the hospital, I find it a lot easier to hit this vein. It's well used. So you turn it a couple of inches above.
It's got plenty of mileage, that vein.
Yeah. And I see it is, as a lot of people get blood taken, you will see the pumping of the veins, which basically pumps the blood vessels up. And the way I was taught is your vein actually feels like an elastic band under your skin, so you know whereabouts it is. I see, for new people who are treating, they'll not have these little markers, the little scar tissue. It's just like a little marker for yourself. But if you've got to hit a different vein somewhere else, it actually feels like an elastic band under your skin. And this bit here is the butterfly needle getting ready to go in. Twist the cap off.
So is the purpose of the butterfly so that once it's stuck in, it stays onto your arm until the treatment is in?
It's basically the butterfly part. It's named a butterfly because of the wings on it.
Yep.
And it's basically, these wings are just for holding it, so you can hold it, and it's actually more movable to get into the position that you need to get it in. Needle goes in, so you feel it, so you know where it's going. You will see a quick draw of blood, so I know it's actually hit a vein. And we do check just you see the blood come down the tube, so it is actually in a vein. The last thing I want is the treatment going into me without it going into a vein, because then it's useless. It'll just cause more problems inside of us, really, because it'll bubble up.
Yeah.
And then it's very slowly infused into myself, pushed by pushing the plunger.
So is it quite daunting when you first start treatment? I mean, because I'm not the greatest with needles personally, but
it is. I say it is quite daunting, having to stick a needle into your vein.
Yeah.
Of all things, it's a bit of a skill. You don't want it. You've got to do it so where you're not actually sticking it straight through the vein.
Okay.
Because you will, if you stick the needle in and it hits the vein, you will get that drawback of blood, but you might have stuck it in too far, so it might have went straight through the vein.
Ah, yes.
So that's why the way I do it is every so often I will draw back on the syringe just to make sure there is free flow of blood coming up the tube. Which I still know it's in me, going into my bloodstream, and where the needle is itself, if it isn't going into my vein, I will find there was a little bubble, a little lump up here, which means the treatment's not going into my vein, it's going into muscle tissue.
Okay.
Which at that point you would stop, withdraw the needle, and you would have to start the process all over again.
So it can be a bit of a nightmare.
It can be a bit of a nightmare if you don't hit the veins.
I mean, it's this. I mean, I imagine that's quite uncommon for you, given how often you do it, or.
I still miss the veins at times. I have gone through a couple of needles before. I see it sometimes. You're tired or not in a hurry, but you do actually miss them. It all depends where I'm treating myself. I've trapped myself in cars and vans at work and stuff, but I see all the solutions in there now. Your whole treatment's in there. And now put the gauze over the top. Throw the needle and just drop it on there where it's safe, and that's self-treatment.
I mean, you posted a video a while back on Facebook about how you self-treated, and there's been quite a bit of interest, hasn't there?
Yeah, there's an interest of a lot of haemophilias who treat themselves as well, because they've been taught different. I know the way I did that there with the syringe actually being on the butterfly needle right from the start was questioned by a couple of haemophilias, because they put the needle in, then draw the blood and then attach the syringe. I find it a lot easier like that, because you've got to treat yourself and you've only got one pair of hands. One hand's took out the situation straight away, because that's somewhere the needle's going to go.
Yeah. So
basically we try and do it with one hand. So if it's all purged, no air bubbles in, ready to go, it's a lot easier and a lot faster. Bit pressure on there to stop the bleeding. Like any other blood test, which is that little bit of pressure just to stop the bleeding on there. But after you you find, and a lot of haemophilias will find, if you get treated in the same vein, or you stick a needle in the same place all the time, over time you get like a little bit of nerve damage.
Yeah.
So in time you don't actually feel the needle going in. A lot of people say it's like a sharp scratch. If it's in the same place over and over again, you get the nerve damage, and it doesn't feel. There is that little feeling there, but it's not.
Yeah, prevalent.
It's not. Yeah, it's not out there all the time. You've got your scar tissue there, and it does stop it, and that's it really. So I could get on with, put a plaster on it, and then get on with my day, and it's took 10-15 minutes from start to finish.
Next, we caught up with Carl's mother, Pauline, to ask her a few questions.
Hello, Pauline.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Thank you for having us in your garden for this.
You're welcome.
How was it growing up, not knowing as much as you could find out nowadays?
Actually, I grew up knowing about haemophilia quite well.
Okay.
I had a very good upbringing by my grandmother, who was born way before her time. She let everyone know. The whole family knew about it. She always believed that if a doctor or a surgeon said that you needed treatment in some way, an operation, she used to say, well, without it, you're going to have problems with it, you could have a future. And that's the way we were brought up.
So would you say that when you had Carl, at least you were a bit prepared?
I was very prepared. I knew there was a 50-50 chance of a son having haemophilia. I also knew that he would probably be a lot milder than uncles and cousins.
So were you quite worried when Carl said he was going to do Tough Mudder, or were you completely confident in his treatment?
I was confident in his treatment, but that I call mothers, I was a bit apprehensive. I know my son.
I think that'd be the same really. I mean, yes. My mum gets worried when I walk out the front door, never mind does that.
Yes.
Carl, self-treat?
Yes.
What is your opinion on self-treating and how beneficial it can be to people?
I think it's a marvellous thing that someone like Carl, or even younger children, are being taught to self-treat, because then they don't have to wait to go to the hospital. The longer they wait, the worse the bleed gets and the more damage it does. So I feel that now I'm totally at the back of Carl for having been on home treatment and being on home treatment. And I think more children should be taught to do this, and more parents should also be taught to be able to treat their own children.
You're going to be doing a Tough Mudder later this year.
Yep.
Being a Tough Mudder and doing 2 events in 1 week, I mean, I couldn't comprehend doing 1, never mind 2. It would be difficult for anyone, so no matter how fit you are. Is it for that reason alone, or as well as that you're doing it with your condition to prove that you can do many things?
Tough Mudder come about off talking to a few friends about getting fit for our 40th year sort of thing. We looked into a few things of training up the wards and getting fit for. Tough Mudder was shown to us and instantly liked it.
On the 7th of September 2013, a crazy group of misfits took to the muddy fields of the Tough Mudder track in Yorkshire. 2 of them were mad enough to do it twice. Here is their tale. Okay, Carl, how are you feeling this morning? It's the morning of Tough Mudder, for the first day anyway.
Feeling okay. Had me breakfast, round to go.
What's the worst part you're expecting?
The electrocution again. Electric shock therapy.
What about the best part?
Getting past them.
I'm not doing it, but it sounds like even just watching it is brutal. They've got electricity wires dangling down.
Go on there!
Ice baths that they've got to jump into. Only a madman would do this. And madman is right behind you.
No, looking forward to it all. Part of the electrocution. memories of last year, it hurts.
Joining me here is Mark. How you doing? Good. And Carl.
Alright.
Do you want to tell us what you are running for today for the Tough Mudder?
Running basically to raise money for the Haemophilia Society, which has been a big help, both for my family and I know for Carl's as well. We got in touch with Carl through the Haemophilia Society, otherwise they'd never own him.
So has the Haemophilia Society helped you to like find out about doing more active stuff, or were you always active and just a bit more aware yourself?
Yeah, really, it's given us a lot of information about treatment, sports that my son can do, and also getting in contact with the various people we need to get in contact with. Like I said, we're talking with people like Carl, it opens up a whole new world to you. You just sometimes you think you're on your own, and then you realise there's other people out there with the same condition and the same problems you have to deal with day in, day out.
So I mean, this is a big step, isn't it, Carl? Like, doing stuff like this can prove that people with haemophilia shouldn't have that stigma.
I'd say the main reason we've said it is a lot of people are still getting stopped from playing activity sports like football and so that. The reason I do this was I enjoyed for one, and it's basically prove that this day and age, with the right treatment plan, the right care of the centres and the right backing of our centres, right treatment, we can do literally anything we want. And the likes of Tough Mudder, it just proves it. I say I've treated myself beforehand, I'll treat myself after, and hopefully I'll have a good day doing it.
Go on, Gav, you can do it.
I've done this more times than yesterday.
You can do it.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Getting that one in.
Go on, Gav! Oh, so close.
I'm counting up.
Hey!
Got that to conquer now.
That big hill up there?
Yes.
I see people at the top there.
No, it's not fun.
No.
But we'll see you on the way back.
Thank you for the hard work.
That's really...
Go on there, Carl.
That's no cut.
You're out now.
I'm trying to pick out all the sharp rocks and make sure I hit them.
Go for it.
Oh, Callum's got your film!
Don't you just love it when you hit heights?
Jesus.
In you go, Gov. Get up, Gav!
All the way, Gav.
It was wrong way, I grabbed it. Finding the way. I feel like Steve Morel. Get on the field,
Hey! Two guys! Hey. Doing great!
Well done, madam. Well done, sir.
Well done! Cheers!
I think I've heard that.
Well done, guys. Cheers, good. Still got energy.
Well earned.
Well done.
When Carl approached us to make this documentary, I was just as unaware as most people are as to what living with haemophilia was actually like. I too had heard the famous case of Alexei from the early 20th century and, like most people, believed that once you cut yourself, you'd most likely bleed out. This was partly down to my own ignorance, but I think it's mostly due to the lack of awareness that there is for the condition. In talking to Carl over time and getting to know what it was like living day to day with haemophilia, I finally felt like I was learning a great deal about the condition and how, with the right treatment, it could be managed. It's sad to think that many people growing up have been, or still are, being denied the chance to live a full and active life due to the misguidance they have been given or because of the cotton that they've been unfairly wrapped in. This isn't to say that there aren't risks involved. For example, people with severe haemophilia still have to be slightly more wary about what they're doing. But couldn't that be said about people without haemophilia? The point being made here is that with the right treatment and awareness, haemophilia doesn't mean the end of the world for those affected by it. If you're watching this and you are unaware of how easy it can be to self-treat, then there are plenty of websites, social medias and communities that you can reach out to. We hope that this has been a positive look on an often negatively viewed upon condition. We're immensely proud of the work done by everyone, and of Carl and his friends for undertaking such an amazing feat, proving what he set out to do. For those unaffected by haemophilia, we hope this has been somewhat of an eye-opener. To those who live day to day with it and were unaware of the vast possibilities still open to you, we hope this documentary has helped. I leave with this question. If you found out, with the right treatment and advice, that you could do all the things that people said you couldn't do before, would you?